Rooftop tents, $70,000 vehicles, and gnarly 500-mile trails, you don't need all this crap to overland. In fact, I know from experience that you only need about 5 things to start overlanding, and you probably already have most of them, if not all of them. If you're new to the channel, my name is Caleb. I overland as much as I can here while living in Idaho as I attend college, and in this video, I'm going to break down how to get into overlanding as cheap as possible. So the very most important thing that's going to save you a lot of time and money and get you really into overlanding is researching your trails and destinations. You can do this through Facebook groups in your local area, off-road apps like Onyx Off-Road, Trails Off-Road, and then Gaia GPS. Researching trails and places thoroughly is going to be the key to making your trip a success and encouraging you to stick with overlanding into more complicated trails. If you don't research it thoroughly, it's going to make you stressed and quit before you even get into overlanding. I personally use Onyx Off-Road a lot and Trails Off-Road a little bit to help me plan out all my overlanding trips. These apps work for me because they're fairly cheap. You can either pay for them by the month or by the year, and they're very intuitive to use as a beginner overlander and off-roader. They show major rock obstacles, water crossings, and anything else that may be a problem on the trail. If you're gonna use these apps and others like it, find a discount for the app you wanna use. View more popular overlander YouTube channels that have discount codes like Dirt Lifestyle, The Story Till Now, and Independence Overland. You can end up actually saving about 20% on subscriptions if you find a good discount code, which is what I've done, and it saves a lot more money too. The next most important item is a vehicle. It's pretty obvious, it's what we think about when we get into overlanding. This is where I personally got intimidated and excited for when getting into overlanding. First, let me say that the vehicle you have now can probably take you more places than what you think it can. I've seen Toyota Priuses on a Forest Service road that I would have never thought to take a Toyota Prius on, but they got the same place that we did, and we did it in a way more expensive 4x4 vehicle and used way more gas. We've all seen decked out 4x4 vehicles that have probably never seen a dirt road before in their entire $80,000 life. It is less about the vehicle and more about the driver when it comes to overlanding. If you have a 4-wheel drive vehicle or all-wheel drive vehicle, great. You can go so many places without putting a bigger lift or bigger tires onto it. Do your research, hit a trail, and see what you and your vehicle can do. Most likely you'll tap out before your vehicle can. So, my very first time overlanding was in my FJ Cruiser while in the Ozark National Forest over in Arkansas. We went for about 3 days and I thought it was going to be a lot of tough obstacles, high water crossings, and we'd be in 4 low pretty much all the time. I was astonished of how much of it we did in 2-wheel drive, and what left me even more astonished was the fact that we only got stuck 2 times in the whole 3-day trip. You can check out the places I got stuck here in this video. Now, with that being said, if you have a 2-wheel drive Subaru and want to go take it on rock obstacles that are twice the size of your Subaru, I hope you have Matt's off-road recovery phone number on speed dial, because you're going to need it. All this comes back to doing your research and making sure the trails you pick are suitable to the vehicle you currently have. If you feel like you did your research and you go onto a spot on the trail and you aren't comfortable with your vehicle, you can turn around and go figure out another way around it. Overlanding is all about problem solving, and that's what's going to get you through overlanding and really make it a joy. So the third and most basic item to overland is food and water. We obviously need it to live and survive. Overlanding is no exception. So if it's only a day trip, maybe if it's 2, if it's cold, just put it in a box. You don't need a cooler, you don't need anything super fancy. It'll stay cold enough to where you're not going to get food poisoning from cooking your own food. If it's a week or 2, get a cheap cooler. It doesn't have to be bear-proof. Everything is going to be in your car. I inherited a small Yeti cooler that has done me just fine on my day trips and even my longer 4 to 5 day trips. Everyone has seen the $900 Dometic and Iceco fridge and freezers that you can get to overland. While I'm sure they're nice and they look nice, they're a bit overkill for just a weekend warrior, someone like me, and most likely someone who's starting to get into overlanding. So the fourth and again most basic thing that we need as humans is a shelter or a way to sleep. This is obvious, but sleeping in your car is the most budget friendly. Build a little platform to make it cozy, bring a ton of blankets, bring a cheap tent, pitch a tent and sleep right next to your car. It doesn't matter, just make it cheap. If the weather's nice enough, you can cowboy camp and truly enjoy the nature you're in. You can sleep right next to your car, you can even hike away from it and go sleep somewhere else. If you do your research well enough, you'll find plenty of places to camp along the trails you're taking. There's no need to go buy a $5,000 rooftop tent or buy some crazy expensive other tent. Keep it simple and keep it cheap. So, the fifth and one of the most important things to get into overlanding is some recovery gear. I personally feel this is where people get intimidated, and I know I did as I got into overlanding, and I still get confused as I get more and more into overlanding when it comes to recovery gear. The bare minimum to bring, in my opinion, is a full-size spare tire and tools to replace your wheel. Again, this is where research is going to save you. If you're going on easy Forest Service roads, I brought nothing with me as far as recovery tools and spare parts go. I've also gone on longer and more intense trips like the Ozarks in Colorado and Utah, where I brought some spare belts, whole tool bags in some cases, if anything goes wrong. Research, research, research. What type of trails you want to be on, and that will determine the type of recovery gear you need to bring. I really hope this video encourages you to get out and explore some cool areas around you while overlanding. Just remember to have fun with it. That's all it comes down to. If you did enjoy this video, go ahead and check out my channel. You can see some of my other travel content and some things I like about my FJ Cruiser specifically. Maybe you can think about getting one. Thank you so much for watching.